environmental challenges of deforestation, poaching, and overfishing in most parts of the country. Baccalaureate candidates in the country are revising their last notes as Monday waits to drag them through several days of a tough mental exercise with a certificate in view. Plus, sports. French cyclist Thomas Meche wins the 7th lap of the International Cycling Tour that ran from Bumyebel to Mbamayo, but the yellow jersey for the overall best in the tour is still with Cameroonian Kamzong Abosolo. Saturday, June 5, 2021. Good evening and welcome to the 7:30 News. I am Benin Bumagana in Yaoundé.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Once again, good evening. We open this newscast today with issues affecting the environment. As Cameroon observes the day today, there are challenges galore like deforestation in the northern regions, poaching and overfishing in some parts of the country. Joyce Kimbi Fawaju now looks at the challenges and perspectives to the protection of the environment in Cameroon.
Several vices challenge environmental protection strides in Cameroon. For instance, continuous deforestation in the northern part of the country by locals for firewood. Consequences of it include soil erosion, desertification, and reduced quality of pasture land. Another challenge is overhunting and fishing in other parts of the country. Pollution, too, remains a significant challenge to environmental protection in the country, in towns such as Douala, Bafoussam, and even Yaoundé. These and more contribute greatly to environmental degradation, according to sources from the Ministry of Environment and Nature Protection. Government's policy is geared towards preserving the environment alongside its desire for economic growth. Reason why more and more emphasis, according to officials, are placed on environmental studies before and after the realization of any development project in the country. Secondly, there are increasing efforts towards the use of renewable energy in order to reduce the abusive consumption of natural resources that could lead to environmental destruction. Above all, multiplied effort to raise awareness amongst the population on the need to protect their environment will continue.
Managing wasteland in Douala remains a call for concern as the uncivil behavior of inhabitants and the almost inexistent presence of a garbage collection company still pose a huge problem. Consequently, there seems to always be a heap of garbage here and there, posing a real environmental problem. For more on this disturbing situation, here is Laris Nane Epote.
Household waste, makeshift waste, dumped carelessly in heaps under the rain and scorching sun, plastic bottles and other containers floating in gutters and blocking the drainage system. This is the picture that the economic capital Douala presents in most of its neighborhoods. In such areas, the garbage bins are neglected and garbage litters the ground due to the uncivil behavior of inhabitants who don't properly dispose of their waste. The quantity of household waste has increased in the recent years in Douala due to the accelerated urbanization in the economic capital and the presence of numerous companies producing different materials, a phenomenon that must be properly managed to preserve one's health and a clean environment. However, some efforts are made by the waste management companies and youth who have gone into the collection of waste which are being recycled into reusable items. Despite this state of affairs, much remains to be done for Douala to become a city with a healthy environment. To ensure this, the City Council has intensified measures by working in collaboration with the waste management companies and sensitizing the public on the better ways to dispose of their waste, especially plastic waste, in order to live in an environment free from pollution and blocked drainages.
Over in the Northwest region, Environment, Nature Protection and Sustainable Development officials say poor waste management, bushfire and excessive exploitation of natural resources are ecosystem degrading factors. On this World Environment Day, they are calling on denizens to change their mindsets and protect the ecosystem. More on that with Ola Titanki.
Water bodies in some neighborhoods in Bamenda have become polluted by extensive solid and household waste disposal by the population. The Northwest Regional Delegate for Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development blames this unfriendly environmental practice to the nonchalant attitude of the population.
All this leads to flooding, and these water bodies with the waste inside, they look nasty and have an odor, bringing about an end to aquatic life. The staff from the Delegation of Environment and some of its partners are involved in a campaign to clean some water bodies in the main streets of the city.
We realize that this waterway is blocked as a result of lightweight single-use plastics. If we all can say no to the usage of single-use plastics, this is a big step in restoring ecosystems.
The environment stakeholders also envisage to plant more trees and encourage the population through sensitization to adopt healthy environmental habits.
And meantime, UNESCO has been training students on ways of protecting and preserving the ecosystem on the sidelines of the World Environment Day. Rita Makang has more on the training.
Needs eco-friendly, responsible young ambassadors to counteract climate change and stop the collapse of biodiversity so as to enhance healthy ecosystems. The National Commission for UNESCO is conscious of this. Reason for the holding of this training of youths as Cameroon this June 5 commemorates World Environment Day on the theme Ecosystem Restoration. My classmates and I are taking part in the workshop to prove that each and every one of us has a role to play in the protection of the environment. That is, by promoting green cities and planting trees.
The objective of this day is to train young ambassadors eco-responsible, which will promote good ecological practice in their respective school.
These pupils and students have been schooled on methods to assist in the recovery of ecosystems that have been degraded or destroyed, as well as the conservation of those that are still intact.
A new management team is since Friday evening at the helm of the National Communication Council. The presidential decree appointed Joseph Chebonken Kalabuse as president of the National Communication Council and 6 other persons to face the challenge. Cynthia Saptala met some of them and edited their reactions in the following report.
The newly appointed members of the National Communication Council are no strangers to the media landscape. Umaru Monglo, telecommunications engineer, says it was at the comfort of his home that he received the news and is willing to bring to the table his reverence to the professional code of ethics.
It is an agreeable surprise and I feel rejuvenated. Each profession has its code of ethics and I believe we must abide by these rules.
Professor Eno Tanjong, former Vice Dean at the University of Boya, was head of the Department of Journalism for over a decade, says he is eager to collaborate in ameliorating the milieu.
I thank God for the appointment. It's another phase in my journalism career.
Also joining the ranks of those now working for the emergence of a free and responsible press is Hamajolde Christine, one of the only 2 women nominated.
As member of the National Communication Council by the President of the Republic, Head of State Paul Biya, I know that the task that has been given to me by him is a great task to achieve.
The 9-member team will be led by a former CRTV director, now charged with the responsibility of overseeing the transparency and balance in media content.
As a professional, we know what the media expects from the state and what the state expects from the media.
Media actors and stakeholders now look to this team to continue the work for the professionalization of the media sector in all its components.
Once again, congratulations to these icons. The 2021 session of the baccalaureate exams begin on Monday, June 8, all around the national territory. In Yaoundé, as in other parts of the country, students are revising, some in groups, to face the exams come Monday. Raina Tusali has been monitoring this phenomenon for the news.
A prayer for these students preparing for the baccalaureate exams as they look up to the Most High for blessings and success.
We ourselves recognize that our strength, our knowledge, our intelligence are not enough to go and write. We need God to write and write well.
The baccalaureate exams kicks off on Tuesday, June 7, and students are bracing up, studying individually or in groups.
You know, throughout the year, as I said, we gave them all that is necessary. And now we know that they are stressed up. So we have to pray for them.
School authorities are also dishing out study tips to the students as they burn the midnight candles ahead of the exams.
The exams begin on Tuesday, not Monday. Candidates sitting the June session of the baccalaureate examination and authorities in charge of the different examination centers in the Bolva are bracing up as the D-Day approaches. School campuses are cleaned. Final list of candidates and invigilators have been published, as well as anti-COVID safety measures taken to ensure a hitch-free exam. Derish Alengi reports on back preparations in the south.
Students, pupils, and teachers in the resource city of Crtv have intensified preparations ahead of the end-of-year promotion and certificate examinations. Different pedagogic strategies are being put in place in different institutions in Crtv to ensure a success to the candidates sitting the 2021 GCE Ordinary and Advanced levels, BPC, Probatoire, and Baccalaureate, First School Living Certificates, and CEPT, as well as end-of-year promotion examinations, a thing appreciated by the students.
Our teachers come to school and they give us like past GC questions. We revise with them, we give them our problems, and they attend to us by giving us solutions to what we need.
The candidates on their part are cutting the T's and dotting the I's.
I am trying to study in the house, and I bring my exercises to the teacher who correct it and give me back to see my competence.
School campuses are kept clean to ensure that the candidates write in a conducive environment and also from the coronavirus scare.
The doyen of linguistics in the University of Bamenda, Professor Gilles-Émile Nguedjio, has received academic honors as he goes on retirement after more than 30 years of service at the institution. Professor Gilles-Émile Nguedjio has trained and continued to supervise thousands of students and worked for the promotion of national languages in Cameroon. Mabel Mekemdi Sakem attended the ceremony. Here is her report.
Present and ex-students of the Higher Teacher Training College, HTTC, acknowledging the efforts of their teacher, Professor Gilles-Émile Nguedjio. This first of its kind conference in honor of the retiring professor in the University of Bamenda has been organized by his colleagues and students, whom together with the director of the college qualify as the backbone of bilingual letters in the school.
He came up with the methodology of teaching these Cameroonian languages in our context as a second language to our students.
The professor, during his career, adopted scientific techniques to teach some national languages.
You take a language like Womala or Fcfa, it's an era where you have 20 dialects, but we make some scientific studies to detect the dialect which is most spoken and most understood by the population. And it is that dialect that we choose now for the teaching.
The 65-year-old, who retires as the head of the linguistics department, has published 12 journals and 4 books.
A two-day exhibition by the popular Maminyanga network of Cameroon women entrepreneurs to encourage the consumption of made in Cameroon brand has taken off in Yaoundé. The initiative is by business tycoon Francois Puene, alias Maminyanga. Let's follow the report by Victor Siga.
The cutting of this ribbon opened the first edition of the Cameroon Women Entrepreneur Network, an initiative that seeks to encourage the consumption of products made in Cameroon and enhance women entrepreneurship.
Today I wanted to say this is a time for women. The time for women is now. The time for women has come.
I am touched by what I've seen here today. I would think that this kind of movement needs encouragement.
The two-day event will serve as a platform to share experience with outstanding female economic figures, partnership opportunities among stakeholders, and a training session on good entrepreneurship.
Our ministry is engaged in this way to give more capacity building opportunity to these women and to allow them to develop their business.
It helped me in my visibility.
Mami Kawe, founded in 2020 with slogan Mami Nyanga Cameroon, Women in Action, has as goal the promotion of homemade products and the technical and financial support of women for sustainable development.
Members of the Association of Business Women of Cameroon, GFAC, have received lectures on the new method of online tax payments and declaration instituted by the Directorate of Taxation. More on that training with you, Gilbert Ongene Anya.
The online declaration of taxes through bank deposits, mobile money transfer, and the registration of demystified and rendered accessible to these business women.
Women have come from the 10 regions, especially the presidents, to verse them on the new taxation way of paying taxes. That is our own way to contribute to develop our economy.
To most of them, this new method of payment of taxes and registration of enterprises is a welcome relief.
We sit in our office, you pay your taxes, and you will do other things. Your workers you used to send, they will give you good services.
The Association of Business Women of Cameroon, by empowering its members in the dematerialization of tax payments and other online transactions, is thus taking the bull by the horns to ensure that their members don't miss the train of modernity.
Now, talking about relaunching large-scale agriculture in Cameroon, the Institute of Agricultural Research for Development, IRAD, has offered agricultural inputs to 35 farmers groups in Santa subdivision in the northwest region. The maize, seedlings, and Irish potatoes will be cultivated on more than 40 hectares of land. Kilo Valerie Satlai has the story.
Santa subdivision flourishes with agriculture. It is born out of nature, but also from survival instincts by these locals. Those instincts are further strengthened with the offer of 300 fruit trees, 1,000 kilograms of maize, and Irish potato seed by the Institute of Agricultural Research for Development, IRAD.
This Irish potato variety that we are offering to the farmers of Santa is called Jacob. Jacob is bigger in size and highly productive. It is resistant to blight, which is a major disease in this area.
It is a leap forward from past experiences that dampened high productivity.
At times when you plant and the potatoes is coming out, we have a certain insect, a worm. It cuts the shoots as they come out from the ground. And then I also have a problem of the blight.
IRAD Deputy General Manager Dr. Kamer Francis discloses that the institution has taken more than 10 years of research to produce this input.
Now on to this advertorial. 31 citizen associations in the Douala 2 municipality have received handy tools to encourage them become ambassadors of hygiene and sanitation in their neighborhoods. The Cleanest Neighborhoods contest was organized by Mayor Dennis Fampu of the Douala 2 Council. Alphonse Abongwa Acho reports.
Make Douala 2 Council a reference in terms of cleanliness in Cameroon. This is the leitmotif of the contest organized by Mayor Denise Fampu. 31 associations from the council area, most of them women, have been on the front line in their neighborhoods to render it livable and attractive. Hence, they have been carrying out activities on hygiene and sanitation that will draw the attention of the jury.
A citizen is he who respects institutions of his country. We have public order and cleanliness. That's what we want to educate our population on. We will not end with associations.
This 11th edition of the Douala 2 Hygiene and Sanitation Award took place under the patronage of the Douala City Council. The city mayor encouraged the act to be replicated across all 6 subdivisional councils.
This beautiful contest corresponds exactly to what the city council wants to do: make Douala a clean and livable city.
Same day when mothers across Cameroon were being celebrated. Hence, the mothers there present were given an envelope to encourage them in the arduous task of mothers, wives, and even workers. The beneficiaries say there is more work for them ahead.
We will return and mature our ideas. We will come out with new strategies. Each year we change strategies. I take the ideas of all adherents, summarize and apply.
The associations were then handed materials that will permit them continue the exercise to maintain Douala 2 in the good books of hygiene and sanitation in Cameroon.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
On our COVID-19 page tonight, we follow the anti-COVID-19 soldier Baldwin Sama Tumbalmayo to get latest news on the vaccination campaign against the disease in that part of the country. Now, hello Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Benin Bumagana. Glad to know that more and more Cameroonians are having themselves vaccinated in the different vaccination centers in the 10 different regions of the country, given that the region with the highest number of persons who have been vaccinated so far happens to be the far north region of Cameroon, with well over 18,230 Cameroonians in that part of the country who have received the first dose for the vaccines, with 1,984 inhabitants in the Marwa who so far received the second dose of the vaccine. And the second region, as per the ranking, is the center region of Cameroon, with well over 12,299 Cameroonians who have each received a first dose of the vaccine, and well over 2,627 Cameroonians who have received the second dose for the vaccines here in the center region of Cameroon. The third region is the north region of the country, with well over 7,479 Cameroonians who have received each the first dose of the vaccine, with 887 Cameroonians who have received the second dose of the vaccines. And the region with the least number of Cameroonians who have been vaccinated so far happens to be the southwest region of Cameroon, with only 1,101 persons who have had the first dose of the vaccine, and just 218 Cameroonians who have received the second dose of the vaccines. It's easy. It can be explained according to those of the National Vaccination Program. They say it's because vaccination has not yet begun in some of these vaccination centers in the southwest region of Cameroon due to some security concerns. And so far in Cameroon, we have had 57,630 Cameroonians who have received the first dose of the vaccines, with 8,988 Cameroonians who have received the second dose of their vaccines, with the take-home message being that for Cameroonians to go to these different vaccination centers and have themselves vaccinated. Back to you, Benin Bumagana.
And thank you very much, Baldwin Samaf and Cayman. But now let's get to know why you are in Balmayo. You say French cyclist Thomas Mejer is winner of the 7th lap of the ongoing International Cycling Tour of Cameroon. He covered a 112-kilometer distance from Boumnyebe to Balmayo in 2 hours, 58 minutes. However, Cameroonian-born Clovis Kamzong Abesolo keeps the yellow jersey thanks to his overall performance. Now tell us the truth, Baldwin.
He crosses the finish line first after imposing an impressive breakaway from the pack. French cyclist Thomas Mejer covered the 112-kilometer distance from Boumnyebel to Balmayo in 2 hours, 58 minutes, 55 seconds. He, alongside Kamer of Congo, made known their intentions at the start of the race, outsprinting the pack with a 2 minutes, 30 seconds time difference. As they crossed Mbankomo, the time difference increased to 3 minutes, with 12 cyclists joining the breakaway. Riding into Yaoundé and the different neighborhoods of the nation's capital city, the pack rode behind and as a grouped pack succeeded to cross the finish line in Balmayo together. Clovis Kamzong Abosolo maintains his 12 seconds time difference from his immediate challenger André Jordan of France and succeeds to keep the yellow jersey after the 7th lap.
I am very satisfied keeping this yellow jersey and maintaining the time difference from my challenger, and hope to keep the yellow jersey this Sunday in Yaoundé.
The cyclists will this Sunday cover 149-kilometer distance from Ebolova to Yaoundé for the last lap of the race.
Okay, thank you very much, Baldwin. All 14 Malagasy handball players in Cameroon for the African Senior Handball Tournament have been training hard for a spot on the podium when the competition ends. Today morning, they were fine-tuning their game plan at the Lycée Leclerc playground. Romeo Kenya watched the team and other teams train ahead of the tournament, and this is his report.
Team Madagascar trains here at Leclerc Secondary High School 2 times a day. In this morning session, the coaches and girls fine-tune tactics on throw out, dive short, and also corner throws.
We prepare the competition with, from 1 month, but it's a hard preparation. For now, it's tactically because it's left few days, and we worked hard for technical.
The selection has been in Yaoundé for the past 4 days. 7 of the 14 players are foreign-based. Due to COVID-19 constraints, back in Madagascar, international players only joined the rest of the team in Cameroon.
So the team are very strong, and we are going to do everything to win every match.
It is the first time the Malagasys are participating in an African Senior Women's Handball Championship. They are, however, hoping to stamp authority in the maiden expedition. The delegation head and the country's Handball Federation's president are equally in Cameroon with the squad.
And it is with that report by Romeo Kenya that we come to the end of the 7:30 news. At 8:30, Arthur Bajinoma will be here for the news in French. And I'll be back tomorrow for what is making news. Have a very wonderful evening. God bless.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Morning, bro.
Nah, no, bro.
You know say you be my paddy man no. I give you 2 for price for 1.
Chai, bro.
Yes, cause my woman say make I bring you 1 watermelon.
Add this one on top.
One does 2 watermelon.
Twins? How you feel for big money?
My join at times 2.
No wait say make your credit finish before you put another one.